No, I didn't know about it. I knew Lake Titicaca and I knew we were going there, but I didn't know about the islands and I didn't know. I don't even know what the name of the island is.
Really?
At this point, I forgot. But I can find it on the map. Taquile. Taquile, yeah.
How did you find out about Taquile?
Well, we're with Explore Travel, yeah, with a group, yeah, and I found out through them, and they give us a dossier of what we're going to do, and it was later Titicaca, and then there was Taquile. Well, it didn't mean anything to me except what you drink,
Agua, chocolate crudo, cigarrillo, bananas, películas, chocolate, agua, chocolate crudo, cigarrillo, bananas.
Now you are the hero. Like in France, there used to be Triomphe Arc, the leaders are coming.
Okay. That's nice. I I wait for the chico
Okay,
again.
perfect.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, push and it's nothing.
There was nothing?
Nothing. Is that?
El padre Lorenzo ha venido primero, entonces yo tenía miedo, escapaba. Entonces poco a poco nos acostumbramos. Traía algo de comer pancito, galletas, ya con eso ya poco a poco nos civilizamos.
2, 3 así turistas y la gente realmente tenía miedo de hablar, porque la gente decía que cuando mira así al turista, que son blancos, y miraba a la gente, este señor de dónde del infierno ha salido, eso lo pensaron, ¿no? Porque cuando dijeron que es de acá, de adentro hemos venido, decía, entonces cuando conversaba, la gente de acá, los taquileños, decían, este señor es del infierno que ha llegado, entonces habla como un gallo y como una gallina. Porque cuando decía, hablaba inglés, ellos no, como yo tampoco no sé, y será cierto que será. Y nunca podíamos ni comprender, nunca, ni ellos tampoco no nos comprendían. Así.
They have to decide if they want tourism or if they want, and this is a difference in my mind, I don't know if it would be in theirs, but if they want ecotourism. Because the ecotourism, I think, tends to limit the kind of tourism you get and the kind of people that you get as well. So you get more of the not the tourist, but the journeyman, you know, the traveler, as opposed to the, quote, tourist. And this island, I think, is prime for ecotourism.
I'm a tourist. If I define a tourist as a person, I think the difference between a tourist and a traveller is I think a traveller is a person that is giving themselves time to take in, to get a full account of the people they're with, and etc. This is a month's annual leave and we're spending 3 weeks in Peru, so I don't think you can call yourself a traveller. But I also think that a lot of travellers purport to call themselves travellers that just in effect eat at the Western restaurants and try and save as much money as possible, and in effect they try and legitimise their understanding of a people by the length of stay as distinct of getting to understand and a feel for things. So I think you might interview a lot of people that purport to be travellers that may not be. I don't know, but I'm definitely a tourist.
I'm a traveller.
You're a traveller.
It's important to make the distinction, I think.
And where would you draw the distinction?
Tourists more come take pictures. I try to get to know the culture and blend in if at all possible. Not disturb anything. I'm very wary about local customs and certainly not taking my shirt off in places where it may offend people, and just small things like that. And I try and contribute to the culture.
I guess I'm the tourist, really. I'm on holiday, and I sometimes think people get a bit uppity about being travellers, you know, because at the end of the day we're all seeing the same stuff. I think often people can get a bit kind of up their own arses about being a traveller. I mean, I like to see things. I'm a tourist because I'm here and I'm paying like everybody else, but I like to see things. I like to see different things, and I like to see the must-see tourist things as well, but it's nice to sometimes feel like you're observing a bit of real life rather than you know, what you've been told to see.
I like to say I'm a traveller because the reason I come out here is because I want to learn different things about different cultures and hope that it teaches me something in return. And I think that if you're a tourist, you just kind of want to see cool stuff. You know, you want to go to we haven't been to a single beach, but we've been to all the museums and we've looked at the cultural history, especially in Mexico, where they have a lot of conflicts between technology and what it used to be, and that's kind of what we've come to have a look at, rather than you know, the beaches, or you know, we've come to see the famous things as well. But we think it's a shame that there's so many people there. I don't know if that's just us being tourists and wishing there weren't very many other tourists there. But you know, that's why we came out to this island, actually, because we thought we'd experience more of the culture because it was independent, and that's why we went out to the floating islands and things, because we wanted to see how they really lived, and be spectators on their lives.
I'm definitely a tourist because I'm supporting their economy by taking the buses and planes and all that stuff, which is good for their economy and good for the people. Yet on the other hand, like, other people have been telling me their customs have been changing and now they have like solar panels and TVs on the island, where before it wasn't like that, which is kind of a bummer, you know. I wish it would be more like it was, but it's kind of impossible, you know. It's like that balance.
Yeah. Ah, see. It's gonna shrink. Oh yeah? Yeah. La mesa. Yeah.
That's what I worry with, the itchiness, the itchy factor.
Yeah, but you know, you wear a T-shirt underneath. It's good for a while.
Are you getting one?
Well, I got one last year.
Yeah. Oh, you've been here before?
Yeah, yeah. I'm with a tour now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's me.
I think it looks good. Yeah.
Huh? That's perfect?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, my one is very easy.
It's an MC.
Come on.
What do you want to spoil me?
Just the head is okay. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
So many 10 more.
You put this on. Come on. Okay. Two more. How about you should
La forma de vida que tenemos acá es única, ¿no? Claro. Entonces, no es algo que lo van a encontrar en otros países, ¿no? Por ejemplo, ¿qué te digo? En África tienen una forma de vida, en el Asia otra. Ahora, hay atractivos, en Egipto, por ejemplo, encuentras pirámides, ¿no? Acá encuentras que, lo que encuentras vas a encontrar la gente. La gente es acá el atractivo, lo que los trae.
You see different parts of the world, you know. We live in France, which is
and in Spain.
and in Spain, but it's a country that is very modern, and you come here and you see so different, so local. And in France, all people are kind of the same, you know.
Differences, I guess, because you see so many similarities between countries and between people, and even the subtlest differences are what makes people, you know, interesting, or what makes a place interesting. You know, I mean, it's such a global culture. I mean, even travelling is becoming a global culture, as it were. So I think these slight nuances and slight, you know, irregularities, as it were, make a place what it is.
The Inca Empire, you can find here like a museum alive, no? Museum alive. How was the Inca period? How they work these people. Very nice, interesting. For me also.
Turismo tiene muchas variedades, ¿no? Hay un turismo de aventura, hay un turismo ecológico, hay un turismo tradicional, que es el turismo cultural, ¿no es cierto? Y hay otro turismo que es el trekking, etcétera, que hacen de que haya una variedad de posibilidades para visitar, ¿no? Entonces, pero lo que más vienen aquí es un turismo cultural, ¿no? Es un turismo cultural y es un turismo a veces con un poquito de aventura por el sistema del circuito, por el trajín, ¿no? Y ahora nosotros, por ejemplo, estamos impulsando de que los turistas no solamente vengan a ver, sino también aprender un poco de la cultura andina, que es lo importante.
I mean, it's a very difficult dilemma, a vital culture, but one that's also not very well off in a material sense. They don't seem to be severely lacking the way you see poor people, say, even in Cusco. But I think it must be very difficult to continue to live and to sort of, not kind of relate to the larger world, perhaps. So I think I was just explaining to Kirsten in a way that I think there's a conflict between the demands of the culture and the needs of the people, that the culture needs preservation to continue, but that the interest of the people may not quite be in harmony with that.
Todo está cambiando, un poco el turismo está influenciando en los habitantes, en los pobladores. Ya los chicos ya quieren tener Walkmans, quieren tener las filmadoras, las cámaras, todo lo que traen los turistas, todo eso quieren tenerlo, ¿no? Alguna ropa nueva, un sombrero nuevo, y todo eso el muchacho, el joven como yo de la isla de Taquile, quiere adquirirlo, quiere tenerlo, tanto igual como el turista.
Con mucho turismo se puede perder la cultura o nuestra costumbre, porque claro, yo no puedo hacer perder, pero los chicos o los niños, sí.
I'm not always comfortable about the people who live from tourism, who change their way of living. So basically I don't like it so much. I saw many villages also where I think that the incidence of tourism on their life is not very positive. But they seem to be okay here.
The whole idea of coming to a place like this is to see something different, experience something different, something real, of the indigenous people, and hotels and discos and things. Stay home.
I've seen. I have to already admit, I've seen a few things that are disturbing on the island. They have photovoltaic capabilities that are jumping up here and there, but they're not using them for any electricity for houses or heating water, which must be a tremendous chore for the women or whoever is in charge. They're using it for radios, televisions. They got a satellite dish here. I'm sure that's not communication to the world. I'm sure that's to bring in the world of television to them, which is going to paint what kind of picture to the population here, and probably slant what they want for their own island. So, you know, I think already it's the ball is already probably going downhill, and it's going to take something major for them to stop it and reassess.
I think tourism is a good thing for the countries, give them work, give them money, but the other side, I think it destroys culture, it destroys their beliefs, and it changes their lives, and that's something which is always between. In a way, I want them to have an okay life, but I myself would like that they keep their lifestyle. Maybe it's a bit selfish. But what attracts me in these countries is because they're different. And I don't want them to have the same style of life as I have.
Thank you very much. Bye. Bye.
Tourists in any country, you know, come to Latin America or they go to Africa or any of those places. And now it's like, well, I've been there, I've seen that, I've done that, and it's kind of like a status symbol thing. And I think that's the real pity, because they don't, first of all, they don't know the language, they don't want to learn it because they feel that these people should learn English. Well, I don't think they're going to do that. And so it's kind of like we want to come and see what you have, but, you know, we really don't want to get dirty, you know, we don't want to get involved in your lives, and we're just here to have a good time and catch some sun and buy some trinkets and go home. And I think that kind of tourist, you know, does harm, does a lot of harm.
Sometimes I get embarrassed by, especially when I see Americans that are so loud and, you know, well, what's wrong with this place? You know, this place is so dirty, and I'm embarrassed that they won't just accept a culture for the way it is. And I think that's one of the bad aspects of tourism. I want people in other countries to see Americans and other travelers as, you know, as people that are okay, just different, you know, and I don't want them to have a bad impression of other places in the world, you know, because we're like we're the ambassadors, you know.
One of the bad change, okay, bad thing. Long time ago, no restaurants, no. So now, of course, each restaurant has a different owners, like a group of families. They work together, but they want to eat more and more. Maybe in 10 years, this is going to fill the restaurants. Okay, so that's what bad change. And sometimes these people, in this island or everywhere, because they're going a lot of tourists, they see some tourists and they see like a full the dollars. Like see one tourist like a big dollar. Okay, so that's not good. But the old people, they know that's not good for the kids.
They see us as some kind of income, I think, and that's okay because they also have to live. And before the tourists came, they were very poor. So I think, yeah, it's good for them. So, but not too much. Over here, it's a little bit too much, and that's too much touristic. I mean, the island is very beautiful, and then you come here on the top of this hill, and then you see everywhere markets and a lot of tourists, and so
Probably damn tourists. Probably source of income. Let's get them to spend. probably some even see it as, well, we're glad that there are people who are interested, although I think that's probably a very small number of people who think that. I think they may think it's, enticing some of their younger ones to leave, that then we're, the messengers of evil. To the older community on the island, I would venture to guess that tourists are looked at as something they'd rather do without.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely see us as tourists. They see us as in some aspects they seem nice to us, but I wonder. I think if it's just like an act. I mean, again, they see us as part of their economy. A way of contributing to their economy, and and sometimes I feel like I'm an intruder. Really, that's the way I feel sometimes. I'm like, oh, you know what? And I try the best that I can to respect them, and I'll ask someone, hey, you know what? Is this appropriate? Is this the right thing to do? But there's always that sense of, I'm not doing something right, and they probably think I'm just some stupid gringo here. Just,
I think they see us as a kind of a necessary evil.
I can imagine them thinking that we're very bizarre. Yeah. Why the hell are we interested in this lifestyle? I mean, I can I can imagine them thinking why are these people so curious about what we're doing and stuff. Because I mean, similar thing. I was in Thailand last year. I went to one of the remote villages up in the north, and one of the questions they were asking us is, "Why are you interested in us?" And I can imagine that being exactly the same thing. Because I guess for them, I mean, this is pretty much what their life is completely. Yeah. Whereas I guess you come from the Western world, you kind of see you're exposed to a lot more, so you're perhaps intrigued by a lot more. Yeah. But I guess they'd just be looking at us with strange eyes, I suppose.
It's a whole new culture. They're seeing us coming in with all these flashy Japanese cameras and thinking, wow. But I guess what it boils down to is everything eventually gets money orientated again. It's like photo, and it's really sad. It's like you kind of sometimes see little kids say, do you want to take a photo of us, and then kind of sticking their hand out for like whatever it is, a quarter or 50p of. It's nothing, to be fair, but it's starting to get there now, which is a worry, because you think to yourself, you'd rather have some unspoilt places left, but I guess it spreads. Yeah, the whole world gets affected eventually.
This is the only island,
on the island,
only place that we saw women work with this on their head and not with the head. All Peru, other women with the head.
Peninsula Capachica, Peninsula Chucuito, only here the women are wearing that child. For differentiation,
okay.
The distinction, the costume, the tradition is different.
It's like, Muslims?
Yes,
it's like,
I know.
Muslims women?
Muslim women.
Yeah, wear this,
yes.
All over the face.
All the face. But it's like, because the costume, the tradition was brought by Spaniards from the Occident. Entonces, for that, they brought this all kind of costume, tradition, and they introduced different kind of clothes. The design is from Spain. All this design is from Spain. And it is in local here. Because the laws, there is because was imposed other kind of tradition.
How do you say liar in Spanish? Mentiroso.
Mentiroso. No seas mentiroso. Gracias.
I've heard some of the guides coming from Puno talking about what the island is, and they spread a lot of crap. I mean, tourist guides do that very often, or many times, because to tell interesting stories. But I mean, this society is interesting in itself. It doesn't have to be made more interesting than it already is. So therefore, they need, the people from Taquile, they need to organize some, try to fight this crap that these guides from Puno tell, that some of them tell. But they need some education, they need some English language, and if they get this, if they develop this capacity, I'm sure that they could organize them out of some of the problem with these guides, and maybe start new boat trips, promoting that this is special Taquile guides or whatever it is.
Yo pienso que las guías están fallando también. Sí, porque no explican al turismo qué es la realidad de la isla. Algunos explican, hablan de Taquile, pero de otra manera, no. Algunas sí, 50% sí que saben de la isla, el 50% no saben nada de la isla. Porque dicen otra cosa después y cuando se enteran de la isla, entonces se quedan confundidos. Sí.
Bueno, los guías también un poquito nos están malogrando, porque ellos por ejemplo, los guías, como si fuera un ganado, como si fuera lo montonan, ¿no? No lo dejan ni conversar con los taquileños ni taquileñas. Ellos quieren conversar, no quieren visitar algunos lugares aquí en el pueblo, no quieren, no. Entonces, una vez llegan a la artesanía, dan una vuelta a la plaza, ya, comer, de frente lo llevan. Eso no es posible para mí. Así es, no me gusta para mí, ¿no? Las guías. Ellos, pero antes, cuando no tenían guía, ellos solitos venían, entonces ellos pues visitaban, conversaban con la gente de Taquile. Bueno, iban a la casa, visitaban, ¿no? Pues era bonito.
Yo le voy a contar, antes no había guías, no había. Llegaba a otro lado, había alojamiento. Este lado también había alojamiento. Llegaba a turista y nadie se molestaba. Pero ahora se molesta la guía, no es bueno. Porque las guías solamente permiten aquí en el restaurante una horita nada más, una hora. Después ya, vamos a ruinas. En ruinas, media hora. Ya está. Después, media hora ruinas, después al puerto nomás. No deja conversar los guías, porque es para nosotros. Por eso la gente está muy triste. Antes no era así. Todos ganábamos, todos le vendíamos, todos conversábamos sobre tejidos, sobre las cosas, cómo hacen casa, cómo tejen, cómo cosen, todo. Ahora no nos deja guía. Además la guía está hablando falso. ¿Por qué falso habla sobre Taquile? No sabe la guía cómo somos, cómo son de los incas, no sabe. Nosotros lo que sabemos, nosotros lo que principal, más sabe, tronco somos nosotros. Las guías no saben. Además, mentira hablan. Esto es así, es mentira. Por eso no está contento la gente de Taquile. Nosotros no queremos la guía.
We were talking with the people in the island and they were telling us that a lot of this is being done by the agencies. They have a package and they sell it and they just come here. And for instance, he was telling us that the guides tell you, for instance, for example, the lunch is 8 soles, but it's really 5. So they make you pay 8, but the owner of the restaurant only gets 5, and then the guide gets 3. I don't know if it's true, but so also you can see that the people here are not really happy with the way it's being handled, because they seem to be very independent and have their own arrangements, which are not being respected by the tourist business or whatever.
Taquile, for me, now, this is modern island. I work a very long time in this trip. I work 26 years. 26 years ago, I arrived to this island. To this island, I see very different. Now, for me, Taquile is modern island. Because each house is now using metal roof. Each house has second floor. Each house now has sun systems for electricity. That's the new generation now. They change a lot the life, the tradition, everything.
When I came with a tour group to the island for the first day, and then had a few days by myself, but the first day, like I was telling these guys, a little girl sat down next to one of the other people, and right away she gave her a pen, and it was just like, and they do come to expect that. I mean, I was walking this morning, I was 2 hours away from here, and a little woman walked up to me, and I don't speak a lot of Spanish, but I understood right away she was asking for a pen, or a pencil, and it was like, And the thing is even if you break down and give it to someone, they don't even say thanks. They just walk away, and then the next time they expect it from the next. And it hurts not to give, but at the same time, because when you travel to places like this, you feel so fortunate and so lucky with everything you have. And I think that's can be used against you, because these people know that you have a lot of things. And I think in a way there's, I don't know if resentment's the word that I really want to use there, but I think that they understand that you have a lot and that it wouldn't hurt you to give some, and so it becomes natural for them to ask. And if they ask and start getting for free, for nothing, then they do expect this. They do expect it. And like in places where it has been severe, like in Africa, if someone asked you for something and you didn't give it to them, they would throw stones at you and stuff. And I can foresee things like that happening even in a very peaceful place, that people just get so used to it that they get angry if you're not giving them something, because now they've come to expect it. So I think that's a very bad downfall of tourism to places like this.
So I try and give productively, in that, like, I don't know, if it seems to me if you're going to give to the children, you should give them something creative, maybe give them crayons or like markers or something like that, or fruit, that sort of thing. Because if you're giving them money, it turns them into beggars, it seems.
They have been spoiled by rich tourists. And also we even read somewhere that please don't give things to our children, don't
it was
create
some kind of thing written by the authorities of the island. They had it on a website. Please don't give pens or candy or whatever to our kids. Don't teach them to beg. If you really want to help them, I don't know, give something to the community center. We are doing things for them, for the school. I don't know, give a contribution, but don't give money to them because it's not good, you know. So that's another bad thing about tourism.
Yeah, I guess when you come from a rich country and you come here and you see kids without shoes, I guess they look pretty happy, all of them. I don't think they're suffering really. Yeah. So then you feel bad. I have to give something back. But I think you screw up the. You do more damage than good, I think. So we're not being mean. We're convincing ourselves we're being smart. Yeah, and give them. Yeah, if you get something, I don't know, a guided tour or something, you can give them, because then it's an exchange. It's more fair, I think.
Yeah, because I think that's also a bad thing about this, that they learn that just by asking they're getting things, and that's not how life works, you know? I don't think that's a good education. If you do something, of course, life is an exchange of things, but it's a bad habit to beg, especially if you don't need it.
Yes, right.
Does your paper?
It's easier when you got a flat surface.
Okay, you'll get your paper. Hey, I gave you paper.
It's right there.
No, that's not my paper. Okay, wait in line. Okay.
No appreciation for airplanes whatsoever.
Tried to imagine yesterday for several hours what it would be like, being a person from here and seeing all these tourists come in, and I after a while I felt like I was resentful of all the I saw these people coming in, and it angered me. At one point I almost went up to a lady. People just taking photos, not asking permission, walking out when they had this ceremonial dancing and stuff, just walking out in the middle and getting up this close to someone and taking a shot and not even asking if it's okay. That really bothered me after a while. So I could see, no one turned away and no one said anything. They were all very gracious and hospitable, but if it was me, I think I would have gotten angry about this, but they don't seem to. It's almost like they've come to accept it, that it happens so much. But I resented that. I really did.
Yeah, I agree. The nicest thing to see is when they're carrying on their own way of life. And I don't know, I hope that they see that they can do that alongside tourists. But to a certain extent, I don't think they do sometimes, and things are just for show. Like when they dress their children up and you have to pay a soul to take a photograph of their children, and you're like, no, that's not the way to treat a baby. And they look really cute, but it's not the point. And so, I don't know, it would be incredibly strange. I think sometimes people welcome you and they want to learn from you too, and they're pleased that you're so interested in them. But then I think they must resent it too.
Tourists do things without sort of thinking of the impacts. Like one really sort of slick example is the photography and having people ask for money for the photography. And and I'm not saying that people shouldn't be able to generate a livelihood off of having their environment sort of disturbed, but at the same time it creates a very weird dynamic between local people and people who come from outside, which is all monetary and all sort of almost performance-based.
It is a little bit of a show, but also I think it's authentic, and you notice that because if you do walk off the beaten tracks, you see people still wearing those same clothes. It's not like they put them on just when they come here. You know, it definitely is an image that they've worked on consciously to semi-manufactured, but I think there definitely is some truth to it. So I found it semi-genuine.
It tends to be a corrupting sort of thing. I mean, where people are coming in and they're bringing technology, they're bringing their values, and you know, indigenous peoples are. I don't know. You know, it seems to. I don't know. It kind of pushes them out of their niche in a way. You know, it forces them to adopt a different lifestyle.
I think for me what I've seen is a total disrespect of the people and the culture. The people become more an object of the tourist's fantasy or something. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but it's, you know, watching people take pictures on the island of Uros and then paying them, which actually I personally fell into that. I wanted a picture of this older woman, and I was there and I was in front of her and I took it and she asked for money and I paid her, and then I just felt awful. But so it was hard to not be sucked into that, but it's disturbing. I think there is a disrespect of the people.
I think it'd be kind of different or weird to live here and have all these tourists come here and kind of invade your life and way of living, and just coming here for the main intent of looking at you and taking pictures of you. And it would be weird to grow up in a fishbowl like that, to have everybody looking at you.
I suppose you get torn between people obviously want to visit the place and hence they make the money out of it, and hopefully sort of maybe improve their sort of living standards. Or if we actually go and visit, then I suppose we end up sort of corrupting them and maybe westernising them or something and destroying their culture, which obviously you wouldn't want to do. It's very interesting for me to visit and see someone else's culture, but I would hope I wouldn't sort of destroy it in the same time. I mean, I might be, because I suppose you walk up these steps and you have all the kids posing for photos and so on, and hence you give them money because of that. If we weren't here, I presume they'd be doing completely other things.
I mean, let's face it, I mean, we're asking these people to conform to a certain economical standard, and they have nothing to give for it. I mean, they have, you know, natural resources, and they have themselves. And they have very poor education, and they don't have a lot of opportunity, and if they can give themselves and their culture and share that, then that's what they have. I mean, that's the export that they have. And if that's what puts food on their table, then good for them. Yeah, it's the negative aspects, I think, of people always wanting to have, you know, the direct TV, the huge television sets, the automobiles, and those sort of things that are sort of blown out of proportion.
I mean, I think tourism doesn't have to be necessarily bad. You know, I mean, especially nowadays, it's a fact. it's happening. It's not, I don't think you can like stop it, but you can do it in a right way. You can have certain limitations, certain regulations. I don't know. There's a way of handling things. I just think indiscriminate tourism and is like this free market thing. I don't think it's good because, I mean, it's just, it becomes another business. So yeah, it shouldn't be necessarily bad, but the way it's being handled now, I think it's negative.
Yeah, it's like a second colonization or something. We're coming here again and we're like trying to take their culture or enjoy it or whatever. And we end up, actually, they are adopting our ways, which kind of sucks. They're giving us what we want. In, I don't know, Cusco area, you could buy all these new age things like crystals, and they know exactly what you want. And nice things. So, I don't know, it's strange in a way.
Yeah, and it's ironical that many people come here to see things that are not there anymore. They come to see, okay, we have come to Latin America because it's the Indian country, so we go there, and then they say, okay, these tourists want to see this, so we're going to give it to them. So they make all these representations, and then you ask, and they say, no, it's only for the tourists. We're not like that anymore. We have changed. So, I mean, you really, really don't know what's real anymore.
Not you. Oh my goodness me! Oh, look at that one. How pretty. Oh, God. Right. 1, 2, 3. Yay! Oh, it's Frenchman.
Maybe they never
Oh, God. Good, go on, harder. Yay! Very good. Now you. Ready?
Oh, it's small. I think.
¿Y tú trabajas también?
Sí.
Vender.
Sí.
¿Sí? ¿Todo el día o solo la mañana? ¿La mañana? ¿Vendes todo el día o solo la mañana? ¿Y cuántos vendes por día, más o menos? 3, 5? ¿Sí?
Con tu mano aquí. Sí. Y empuje acá. Muy fuerte. Muy bien. Y ya dice 23 fotos.
Hey! Oh, boogie, boogie, boogie. Hey! Oh, boogie, boogie, boogie. Hey! Oh, boogie, boogie, boogie. Hey! I start talking, hey! Hey! Sabe, higher, sabe, higher, sabe, higher, what's so listening to it? The gabby, boogie, boogie, that's the fire, big I start talking, bang. Hey! Oh, boogie, boogie, boogie. Hey! Oh, boogie, boogie, boogie. Hey! Oh, boogie, boogie. I start talking,